Virgo Moon, welcome back to Naturally Lit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about your moon placement. This is a general reading. If you don't know your natal chart, go to astro.com and put in your information, birth date, time, location, all very, very necessary so you can get a very specific type of reading and interpretation. And also, if your moon is between the 1st and the 6th house, then this is going to be more of an internal feeling. And if your moon is from the 6th to the 12th on the top of the horizon, it's going to be more of an external need, okay? More of an internal versus external needs. So like seeking it from other people and then being able to get it from yourself, okay? Type of thing. Now the moon is your emotions. It's ruled by Cancer. It is the cardinal water sign. It is your relationship with your mother figure, and this is about energy. This is not about sex, male or female, okay? This is about the mother figure in your life, the person who nourished you and nurtured you or who did not. So depending on where it is, this is how you're gonna see it. So with a Virgo moon, Virgo is an earth sign. It's mutable, meaning it can change. It can start things, it can end things. It doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily fixate on things. It's always moving. It's always making something happen because it's ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is our fastest ruling planet, all right? And Mercury is about information. And so now we have an earth sign with information and with the moon. And when I was talking about the moon in my other videos, is the moon is watery. It's emotional, okay? And so now you put that together with the earth, and this is absorbing things. And Virgo rules the nervous system, all right? Each part of the planets rule a part of our body. This is why it's really great for healing and stuff like that. And Virgo is known for healing and wellness and health and daily routines and the meticulousness of life, okay? About getting down to every detail, about analyzation, about being critical. It's about minimalism. It's about taking out what you don't need. Virgo comes after Virgo comes after Leo. Leo parties. Virgo cleans it up, okay? That's what happens. And so this is why Virgos can be seen as OCD, as tight, as not, a lot of people, when they're in their low vibration, they're just trying to control every single thing. And now if you put the moon together with Mercury, the moon moves every 2.5 days. Mercury is the fastest moving planet. So now you kind of have this going on. So a lot of people with moon and Virgo have issues with anxiety and or depression because it's hard for them to stabilize their emotions. It's hard for them to stay right there with however they're feeling because they always feel like there's something to fix. There's always something to alter and shift and change, and it's never really done. And I need to be of service to other people, and I need to be working, and I need to be, there's always this constant movement, okay? It's similar to Gemini, but Gemini is air. Now Virgo is earth. So this Geminis can let go of things a lot easier than Virgos can because Virgo is an earth sign. So this is why if you have even moon in the 6th house, you have issues with anxiety and depression and nervousness, like feeling and overthinking all the time, So now you're overthinking your emotions. You're overthinking, oh my gosh, well, I did this thing and I know it's going to affect this thing because I did this wrong. And there's a lot of self-sabotaging with the moon in Virgo, a lot of not allowing yourself to learn. Even though Virgo is about learning, which I just find really interesting, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Virgo people are very well studied because they are so meticulous, because they have to keep going over every single detail all the time. It's not, they're never lazy. It's not that. And it's not even about erratic energy like a moon in Gemini. It's just about a over-analyzation of any situation that they're in, every situation that they're in. You know what I'm saying? It could literally be their food that they're over-analyzing. This has to stay on this side of the plate, and this has to stay on this side of the plate. Everything has to have its place. That's what Virgo is about, Virgo, and we need that kind of energy in the world because if everything didn't have its place, then beautification couldn't be what it is, or ideas or buildings could not be built and stand up the way that they are. There's an architecture to life, and I feel like Virgos are the architect of life, but when it comes to your emotions and you're trying to be an architect of your emotions, that's going to cause not enough space for you to actually emotionally grow naturally. It's a forced emotional growth with Moon in Virgo. You know, it is as the opposite is Pisces, and Pisces is where things get lost in translation. This is why Virgos always have to feel like they have to do so much to make sure that nothing is lost, no detail, no data, no bit. I have to make sure everything is here. So Moon and Virgo people they can definitely be very, very petty. Hold on to every single word that you said, you know what I'm saying, and use it against you, because they feel like, oh, well, that's protection, because that's going to keep everything factual and grounded. Like they want to be so in the world of the world that they literally start burying themselves emotionally, and they feel like that's the only way to stay rooted, because of that Pisces on the other axis, because that energy is really strong. And I feel like more people need to talk about those energies, you know. So Moon in Virgo could just make you, yes, you're very humble, you know, you know how to talk if you wanted to talk, you know, but sometimes you don't feel like you don't want to be a big deal, and you don't want to be a burden on somebody else because of your emotions. But the thing is, see, Moon and Virgo, you don't let other people decide. Everybody's a grown up here, you know what I'm saying? We all get to decide who we get to interact with, what kind of life we get to have, that kind of thing. So, you know, you're allowed to have conversations with people and tell them things, and they're also allowed to be like, hey, I want to hear it, hey, I don't want to hear it, you know what I'm saying? But Moon and Virgo people are very they're very hard on themselves emotionally, you know. They just feel like emotions, because Pisces is on the other side, like I keep saying, and Pisces is about losing detail. I'm telling you, it's about illusions and lies, you know. And Virgos want clarity, they want the truth, they want honesty. And sometimes they don't feel like their emotions can fill that for them. Sometimes they feel like their emotions are not valid enough to be their truth or to be the honesty in their life. So this is why they can be very, very, very hard on themselves, emotionally, you know, and spiritually. They feel like sometimes they have to go into solitude and put themselves away from everybody, because nobody's gonna be able to handle how much they're gonna want to spew, because Moon and Virgo people spew. When you get them revved up and started, they're just gonna like all of it, you know what I'm saying? Because they have a tendency, they have so many details, they've held so much in, you know, I don't know, they take away the stuff that we don't need, but now do they discard it? That's a whole nother question. It depends on what kind of Moon and Virgo person you are. So Moon and Virgo people are, you know, this is the reason why most of y'all are nervous. This is the reason why most of y'all are depressed, because you feel like you're going to be judged for the way that you think, the way that you think that you feel. You think because you have a tendency to judge that in others. You know what I'm saying? Like the relationship with your mother either really focused on you just being successful and needing you to be of the earth, and like needing to do work and needing to do chores and be of service and be humble, and you know what I'm saying? Your emotions don't matter. Your emotions are not rational. So if they're not rational, they hold no weight. They hold no quality. They hold no real lifespan here, you know. Or your mother could have been, and that same spectrum, very, very, very religious, because Pisces on the other end, like I keep saying. So she could have been very, very religious, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter. It's whatever God says, and well, your feelings don't matter. You know, and so then you become that kind of person. You become more detached and cold, and you become more you put all your emotions in little boxes, you know, and you're like, nah, I don't need that. Or you try to discard certain things or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then because you weren't able to really express freely how you were supposed to feel, because there's always some kind of judgment, some kind of critique around the way you expressed your emotions, your subconscious, your triggers, your trauma. It was always being analyzed and talked about, even, you know, type of like nobody could keep their mouth shut about what you said to, you know, your sister or something like that. There was no real trust. So there had to be You have to overanalyze everything. You have to overanalyze or over communicate everything, you know, because your sense of clarity is so skewed because you've been lied to somehow, in some way, your entire life. Something has been cloudy, and now because of that, you just want everything really refined and everything really detailed, and blue is blue and red is red and green is green, and that's what I said. I hope you, blue is blue, red is red, green is green. That's what I said. You heard me, right? You heard what I say. Write it down, and I'm gonna text it to you too, so you don't forget, because there was, you know, stuff going on with that. But that's just my little interpretation about Moon and Virgo. Don't be so hard on yourself, baby. Let it be. Emotions they don't need to be explained, okay? Bye.